Welcome back. So we're here again in the shop, and I wanted to show you our latest discovery tool, I don't know, whatever, our latest piece of equipment. So this right here is a manual forklift. I don't know, it's kind of old school technology, but it's got two handles here on the back, and you push it like this, pull it back wherever you want to go, and then it's got hydraulics to go up and down. So it's supposed to lift about 1,800 pounds and 11 feet tall. I just measured it all the way up and it goes about 10.5. So we were pretty close with the description that we got. 1,800 pounds is more than I need to lift right now. The little blue tractor that we have that you guys have seen in a bunch of videos, that thing only lifts 1,200, and then you have to take the fork weight out of that. So I'm going to assume the forks weigh 150. So that thing should lift around 950, 1,000 pounds, somewhere in there. And that lifts more when the forks are down near the ground. As it goes up, that loses some of that capacity. So for us, we have some of the pallet racking over on the side of the shop, and you know, it doesn't really help trying to clean the shop out over there and then having to lift the containers and everything off here. I have nothing to do it, and the trailer that I have isn't big enough to put the tractor and the containers on and pick them up back and forth, whatever. So that'll work over there. I can throw empty containers on the trailer, take them over, load them, throw them on the trailer with the tractor, and then come back here and this thing should be able to pull them on and off for us. It's pretty cheap. I paid a couple $100 for it, and I'm hoping to get maybe a year and a half out of it, and then I'll sell it when we can get a forklift. I'm pretty over budget right now with this shop build. So you got to do what you got to do, and whatever, it'll be able to pick stuff up. So let's take a closer look at it, and I'll show you some of the stuff that it needs and what we have to do to get it working. So this is the back of the machine here, and you can see it has a little battery charger with it, a little cord that comes up here. So this is a 12 volt battery charger. This thing runs 12 volt. It should have two 6 volt batteries. If you remember the man lift, you remember me saying that it takes a lot longer to discharge two 6 volt batteries than it does one 12 volt battery. But the gentleman who had it prior has just a normal car battery in here. So it's not that it won't work, it'll just drain the battery faster. So we're gonna go ahead and run this just for right now. Whatever, like I said, I'm trying to get this place going on a little bit of a budget, and we got to do what we got to do. I'm not going to throw a couple $100 at batteries just to, you know, make it last a year or whatever. So we're going to keep this car battery in here, but there is a problem. So you see the ground wire right here, and then there's a positive on this side that comes up to the pump. This is the tank for the pump that holds the hydraulic fluid. There's not enough fluid in here, so when you get up to about the 6-7 foot mark, it starts to run air, it starts to cavitate in the pump itself, and it doesn't want to lift anymore. It kind of goes. So this needs to be full. Now a lot of you guys might say, well, just fill it up. The forks are about at a 4 foot level right now. So if you were to fill this now, when you lower that cylinder down, more fluid's going to come back to the tank. It's going to overflow. So you always want to fill it with the forks or whatever it is, the arms of a bobcat or whatever it is. You want those all the way down and the cylinders all the way compressed. So we need to lower that down. Maybe let's say this is halfway full. We'll fill the rest of it up. Leave a little bit of room in the top so you can have some expanding. The next problem is they did the same thing that they did on the man lift. It's very, very, very small wiring on here. I don't even think this is 4 gauge. It might be 8 gauge wire. So if you have this machine and you go from the forks all the way down to the forks all the way up, you can actually feel the heat off of these wires. The wires are getting so hot trying to carry that current through that you might burn that pump out because you're not getting all the power that it requires. So same thing like we did on the man lift. I have some more of that welding cable, the 2-aught, and I'm going to go ahead and make new ground and new positive for this thing, and hopefully that'll solve that issue. We'll top up the fluid once the forks are all the way down, and then like I said, as long as you use it a little bit and plug it in to charge it back up, it shouldn't be an issue. It just maybe with two 6 volt batteries it'll last 5 hours, and now it's going to last 3 or something, I don't know. But keep an eye on it, it should be okay. For what we're doing, it's not like we're doing production stuff in here. It's just to help unload a trailer, or like I said, get a container down off the pallet racking or something like that. So let's go ahead and get the wiring on this thing and see if that helps. Alright, so real quick, that was, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. We got our 3 cables made up. So we have our ground, which is this middle length. We have the positive that goes from the battery up to the switch. And then we have the small one that goes from the switch over to the motor, the pump. So we have all 3 of these. Let's go ahead and pull the old ones off and get these ones back on. So one of the new problems, or one of the ones that could have been adding to this, was you can see that this is the wire. Let's do a quick size comparison here. So you see this little guy, that's the little one that they had on there, and then that's ours. So we're, I don't know, 2 or 3 times as thick as this thing. But this is like house wiring. You can see how big and thick those strands are in there. That's not like an automotive grade, sorry. It's not like an automotive grade wire. And then they had to go up to this little clip. I don't even know what this thing was. And it just kind of sat in here. Let's see if I can get it back. There you go. It kind of sat in here like that. And then when you pinch the bolt, it kind of pinched these two together. So it wasn't making a good ground, obviously. The hole that it went through there on the side, they didn't even grind the paint off. So again, all of these little things, like you can't expect something to work well if you don't have it grounded properly, or the right wire, or the right size wire, and so on and so on and so on. So we're gonna go ahead and take the grinder that we just used to cut that. We'll grind a little spot on there where this whole pad here of our ground is going to sit on. So at least it'll be grounded well to the chassis, if you will. And then the other side will go down to the battery. And it has just these normal top post lugs. This will sit down on here like that, and you put your wing nut on the top, and that's it. So this will be a good ground. Like I said, we'll grind that and we'll go ahead and try and fix this thing. Of course, now the hole's not big enough. I'm gonna open the hole up. So what I did do was I went a little bit bigger bolt, little washer. Washer's gonna go, it almost takes up that whole pad. So that's good. That's ground, and I ground the outside as well, so the washer on the outside is going to ground as well. They had the same sort of clamp on the positive up at the switch, and it wasn't even tight. The wires were just kind of hanging in there, so they could have been like doing this, not contacting or whatever, but so you can see here, let me spin this, that's where the bolt goes, and then it has this little guillotine that pinches up on the wire, but it's not even tight, look. It's just hanging in there. So there you go, we had one wire. That's a little crimped one, but we had one wire with the proper crimps on it. Again, too small gauge, but at least we had one that somebody had the right crimps on, or, you know, tried. Alright, so just like that, we have the new cables on there. Let's go ahead and lower this machine down. And to do that, you lift up on this little side handle here. You can see the forks are coming down. Now they're on the ground. And then to lift it, you just push that handle again. There you go. You can hear the pump running out of fluid there. But we are about 12, maybe 16 inches from the top. So it's about 10 feet up right now. I can definitely tell you that it sounds a lot better with a larger wire on it. And maybe my crazy head, but I think it moves up quicker as well. So let's try one more time. I'm not sure if maybe I just wasn't pushing the handle hard enough originally, but wiring's not hot or anything anymore, which is what we want. So I'm going to call that a success. Anyways, I think we're going to take off all the stuff that we're never going to use. 1, 2, we're going to charge up the battery. 3, we need to get some more fluid in it. But I'm going to call this a success for today. And I'm sure you'll be seeing it more on the channel. But hey, it was a quick video. We got this thing somewhat repaired to a point that we can use it now. And sometimes it's what you do. Buy stuff that's broken, fix it. You know, I had all the wiring here. The fittings or the terminal lugs there that I had, I'll put a description in the link below. The Amazon crimper, I'll put a description in the link, or put a link in the description below. They're affiliate links, so it helps us out if you click on them and purchase it off there if you're interested. And like I said, that was the cheapest I could find, those lugs. I was talking about it in the man lift video. It's, I don't know, about $1 a piece cheaper than I could buy it local here. So it was easy enough to do that. They come prime next day, so it's kind of a no-brainer. You know, it's cheaper for me to buy it, and I don't have to waste the time or fuel or anything to go and get them from the store. So win-win in my book. Anyways, guys, have yourself a great night or day, and do stuff. See you on the next one.